welcome, Attorney Prashanthi. How you doing?
Hello, Dan. Good, thanks. How are you?
Okay, so I just wanted to get started with there's been a lot of buzz with the visa revalidation or visa stamping, which was active until I think 2004, where people would send their passports to Kentucky. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it was in DC or Kentucky. Most likely it was Kentucky Consular Processing Center, where they would just send their passports for a revalidation. But we are hearing news about, as of January 2024, this whole process is going to come back. But it's a little it's a confused state of mind for a lot of our viewers here. Why is this limited to only 20,000 people? Is this based on their staff shortages, or they just want to run this as a pilot program? And see, this is something they have done in 2000 until 2004. So why would they want to run again as a pilot program? I'm talking about the US Department of State.
So let's just go back to the basics because a lot of people may not know what we're talking about. May not be good to presume what people know or they don't. So I always like to take a step back. Yes, as Dan just mentioned that earlier, there was a process called visa revalidation. And this visa revalidation is for people, used to be for people who already had a visa stamped in their passport and that visa was expiring and they need an extension. And right now, the situation is if your visa expires and you need an extension, you have to leave the country, go back to the consulate, and get a new visa stamped and come back in. To avoid that, USCIS came up with a program called visa revalidation some time ago, whereby this process could be done by remaining in the US. So we could basically what we would do is send out passports, original passports to Washington D.C. with a fee and a form. It was a very simple, easy process, and then we would get the stamped passports back, which we would then send to the client. So there was no need to go to the consulate outside the country to get those visas stamped in the passport. So AILA and other organizations have been trying to bring this program back for ages now. And every AILA conference we hear from the Department of State that they're trying it out. They're trying to figure out how to do it because they've obviously dismantled the program that they used to have earlier and the department that they used to have earlier that did this, and they didn't want to burden existing departments with this additional process. But now I think they've realized that this has to be done because of the backlogs, still the continuous backlogs because of COVID. They haven't been able to catch up and still processing time. It's so long. And just to get an interview itself, the time period to get an interview itself is so long that they're having to come up with programs such as this. So I guess they've made an announcement that they will introduce it. They're introducing it. They will publish regs for this next month, that is in December. And sometime in January, they plan to start slowly as a pilot program so that they can see what the issues are, if any, in this program and make changes or modifications as needed. So they will select 20,000 applications to start off with, visa applications. They haven't yet said how they'll select the 20,000, whether it'll be a lottery. Most probably it won't be first come, first serve, most probably a lottery, another lottery. What fun. But I think it's a start of something good. If this works, then this will help a lot of people who are now stuck without being able to go back or travel or go back to their home country because the visa wait period is so long, they're not able to go back right now. And for the holidays as well, nobody can travel. So I think this is great. And also it will reduce the backlog, as I said, on the existing visa interviews because there's so much of a backlog on those for the ones that are needed. Also, Dan, you have to keep in mind that this visa waiver program, meaning the visa interview waiver program, is expiring in December. So that will again put a burden on the consulates and that link to conduct interviews for every single person, even for extensions.
You mean the Dropbox?
Yes, the Dropbox program.
Okay.
So I think on another front, I think there are a lot of organizations and companies including AILA, trying to extend that visa waiver, interview waiver program as well, the Dropbox program. And I think both might happen. The USCIS and the Department of State, which has to work together on this program, have indicated that they intend to, but let's see what happens with both the visa revalidation as well as the visa interview waiver program.
Now, one thing I wanted to ask here, when they shut this down, this whole visa revalidation in 2004, the very reason was for the inability to collect the biometrics. Now, if somebody is going to mail it to the DC office, now what happens to the biometrics?
I don't see why they cannot collect biometrics. They do that in green card applications, which is sent by the mail. It's the same thing. They can collect biometrics. They can send in, the biometrics form that like they do now, appointment form, and they already have centers where, biometrics are collected, photographs are collected,
So these
fingerprints are collected, so that can be done.
So they're going to work in conjunction with the USCIS field offices to
Yes,
the
that's why I was saying that they have to both for the visa interview waiver program as well as this revalidation program, they have to work in conjunction, I think, with the USCIS, unless they plan to open up their own centers for biometrics collection, which doesn't make sense.
So it's only like we are close to December. They said January of 2024. So we have to, when we have more updates, we will definitely bring up another topic on a show and provide more information on the process. Once uh, Attorney Prashanthi has more data on this, we'll try to bring up on an entire show just to cover how you can revalidate your visas. For now, we know it was talking about H1Bs. We're not sure about other visas at the moment. If attorney has any other info, but I think we should, since we don't have much data at the moment, I think we should move on with our open Ask Me Anything session. Thank you for that information on the revalidation.
Are you an IT consultant seeking a new opportunity? We offer job placement services for US citizens, green cards, EADs, and visa holders. We also sponsor various work visas like H1B, E3, TN, and green cards. 20 plus years of experience in the industry, exceptional employee benefits, highly rated by our employees, global presence with 200 plus recruiters and direct clients. Connect with us. Call us on the number 833-412-8472 or mail us at support@higheritpeople.com or visit our website www.higheritpeople.com.